Alright, so I got my coffee right here. It's black coffee with a little bit of Splenda in it. We'll see how it tastes. Actually, pretty good. 8 o'clock coffee is nothing fancy, but it is actually decent. One day I will splurge and buy some like really good stuff, I think. But I don't know when. Not this time. But someday in the near future. But as I said, I hope everything's going well for everybody. Today the plan is to go to the gym right after I drink my coffee. And then I'm doing legs today. And then after the gym, I do have a Walmart pickup scheduled for noon. So I'm going to go to Walmart and pick up some stuff. I don't know what I'll do after that. I may see if I can go and want to go to a movie. And if a movie is available and it's one I want to go to, I'll go see that. But I don't know if I'll be doing that. I know the Odyssey is out, but right now it's super, super crowded, and it's going to be Saturday, so I'm not going to even try to see if I can go watch the Odyssey today. But I'm lucky because I live near an IMAX theater, and apparently there's only 41 of them in the country or something like that. So I'm extremely lucky that I have one about an hour away, which ain't bad. So I do want to go see it, and I either want to see it with my family or my friends. I'm going to text my friends first to see if they've seen it, and then see if anybody wants to see it. And then we can hopefully get a day to go and watch it. Or if that doesn't work, I'll see if my family wants to watch it. Or if that doesn't work, I will go alone and watch the movie, because I think I should watch it in IMAX. But, and I know a lot of people are upset about that, because a lot of people don't have access to an IMAX movie theater, and I get it, I guess. But Christopher Nolan is the director, has always been about the cinematography of it. Like, if you were to watch the movie Dunkirk by him, it's super cinematic. Everything's real. There's very little CGI. Like, the beaches have all real people. I think they did use some cutouts, but it's all real. It's no CGI. And they blow up a French battleship because they didn't want to use CGI. They actually sunk a real French battleship. So, I think he is very much about the cinematography of it all. And this is no different. So when he had the opportunity to shoot in IMAX, which is like a really nice film, right? He's gonna use it, so I don't knock him for it. It does suck for everybody who cannot go see the real version. They have to see the smaller version with like the top and the bottom cut out. There's a meme about it where they're comparing it to a video game where you have the original version, then you have like the DLC extension pack, and like the IMAX, the DLC extension pack, so you actually see everything that Christopher Nolan wanted you to see. And it does look very different. Like, there's a shot with, I think what's his name? I don't know, Timothy Chalamet, I don't know. I forget his name. He's played Spider-Man, but there's a shot, and he has the IMAX version has his whole head in it, and like the rest of like the sea and stuff. But then like the normal version like cuts off his head like right here, and you can see the rest in like the bottom like right here. So like it is different, and it is a different experience. So I do think going to see it in IMAX is probably the best wanted us to do. So I am going to go see it in IMAX. I hope it stays in theaters for a little bit, because I know right now it is crowded. I checked to see if I can go see it yesterday, and every seat was taken except for like the ones way up front, and I do not want to watch a movie like this. So I decided not to go yesterday. Maybe I'll schedule one for like maybe a week or two even in advance and buy tickets like now, which is probably the thing I have to do if I'm gonna actually go see it. So I didn't go see the Odyssey yesterday, but I stayed here and I watched Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling, and I've been holding out on watching that movie for a little bit because I wanted to read the book first. But I'm actually kind of glad I didn't read the book, and I'll get into that. But I wanted to read the book first, and I decided just to watch it. I had nothing else to do yesterday, so I decided to watch the movie instead. And if you haven't seen the movie, I would say to definitely go watch it. It is a sci-fi movie. Earth is slowly going to get. I actually don't want to give anything away, but if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely go watch it. I really don't want to give anything away. It was a super surprise for me, and I was finding myself really invested in the characters. We'll put it like that. And it's one of those movies that everybody says was really good. It has like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's definitely a reason for it. I would definitely go see it. I still have to see Obsession. I haven't watched that yet. And I still have to see Backrooms. I haven't watched that yet. Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg apparently was alright. People said it was probably a little too long, and that he's a little too old, which seems mean, but maybe there is some truth in that. But I haven't seen that movie either. I do want to watch another movie today, so I have this Old West picked out. I forget the name of it, but I think it was like made in like the 70s that I'm gonna watch. It has, what's his name? It's not Mel Gibson, but he's like the old Western guy. He plays in the movie El Torino, where he's like beefing with some Asians. I forget his name, but he's in that movie, which I'm excited to watch. Also, I'm playing the video game Ghost of Tsushima, which is amazing. The graphics are fantastic. I'm not a huge video game nerd, but the game itself has been really fun to play. And I'm getting pretty good at it, or better at it, so I can actually win some of these boss battles. So, that's been fun. I did want to go do something outside yesterday too, because it was beautiful out. So finding something to do today would be best. It's Saturday. If I go to the gym, go pick up my stuff from Walmart. I don't know if go to a movie or go hiking or something, but finding something to do would be preferable from sitting in here today. Even if it is like finding a beach and then just chilling at the beach for a little bit. I would have to come back here though to put my stuff away, my groceries away, and then go somewhere else. Come back here, shower, go somewhere else, which would be fine. But yeah, my summer is going well. I'm getting a lot of work done on my curriculum. I have summer school Wednesday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. year's schoolwork, and then I will come in on Mondays and Fridays and work from around 7:30 to 11:30, 12:30, and really get some work done. I did that last Monday, and I got into like a nice flow state, and I was just 4 hours went like that, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Got a ton done. I was not able to do it on Friday. Why didn't I do it on Friday? I don't remember. Well, they were working on stuff in my classroom. So, like, I tried to stay on Thursday, but they were working on stuff in my classroom, and I decided to skip Friday. Let them finish up that stuff. But I'm coming back on Monday to see the classroom, I guess, and then to work on some other stuff. I've gotten my pre-colonial America unit done, my colonial America unit done, my American Revolution unit done, and my Western expansion unit done. And then for 7th grade, I got my civics unit done, which is like a major unit. Because in 7th grade, it is just civics, economics, and geography. But I am going to have to talk to the principal because I think there's going to be an issue with the scheduling. I'm supposed to teach half the 7th grade this year, and the science and social studies teacher is supposed to teach the other half of the 7th grade. And then the science and social studies teacher is teaching half science, half social studies. But the principal's idea is that you switch your topics. So, like, if I were to teach geography and economics, and he teaches civics, at half the year, we would switch. Which doesn't make much sense to me, because then I have whole half the year to teach just what he taught, and I have double the time to teach what he taught, which means I'll have too much time, if that makes sense. Unless he doesn't care when we switch, meaning that once I'm done, I would teach 2/3 of the year, and then the last third, no, because there's no way you'd be able to get what I taught done in shorter time. So the whole idea of switching topics does not work, and I need to point that out to the principal, because if I teach, I technically, like, incorrectly have double the time as what this teacher has. So when he's thinking of, oh, you'll just switch topics, you don't switch students, that doesn't work, because the time doesn't equate, because I have all my time for social studies. He has to split his time between science and social studies. So I want to go have a talk with him and just point that out, as obviously respectfully has a good relationship with me, and I have a good relationship with him, but just kind of say, like, I don't know if that's gonna work. It needs to switch people. So he doesn't want to switch people because he wants to not have the science and social studies teacher teach the same thing over and over again. And I get that, but if you do that, you will get better at teaching that subject. So I'm thinking it's the best thing to do, and it's the only thing that really makes sense to me, is to switch the classrooms. So, for example, or the people in the classrooms, the students. So at half the year, I give him my students. I've taught them whatever I'm teaching 7th grade. He taught them whatever he's teaching, and then we switch, and I just reteach whatever I taught to that 7th grade, because the time doesn't equal the same thing. It would work if the time equaled the same, but it doesn't. I have double the time he does, so which means if we do switch topics, he's gonna have no time to teach it, and I'm gonna have too much time to teach what he taught. He'll get that. I mean, that just makes sense. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna go do on Monday. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go do my work, I'm gonna try to set up a meeting with them and be like, this is what I think, and this is what I think makes sense. Another thing is, I'm teaching all 8th grade this year, so that makes it easy. I'm not switching with anybody. They're gonna have social studies just with me, so it's just gonna be American history. Next year, we're doing the same thing that we're doing with 7th grade next year. So 7th grade is gonna have a social science and social studies teacher and a social studies teacher, and they need to learn all of American history in it. So the thing is that in order to teach American history in a chronological way, they would have to start this year. They'd have to get to half of it this year, and then the other half of it next year. Which means in order for them to get everything they're supposed to learn in 7th and 8th grade, it would have to be, I would have to teach half American history and civics, because you can throw that into American history. He would teach like economics or something, and then we would switch. So I would teach the second half of 7th grade, half American history and civics. He would teach my half of 7th grade economics, and then we would do the same thing, except this time I would teach the last half of American history. He would teach geography. We would switch. I would teach half American history. He would teach geography, so they get everything. That's not what's happening this year because I'm teaching all 8th grade. They just took 8th grade, split it in half, and made 2 classes. They're giant classes, not giant if you're from California, but from New Hampshire, they're big. They're like 25, 26 kids in each class. And I could just teach them all year, which makes it easier. But for 7th grade, we're going to have to come up with a 2-year plan, and I think that plan works. And I really hope that this principal at least hears me, unless he has some genius other idea. And he's like, oh, you're actually doing this, and it makes sense. I'll be like, okay, cool. But right now, that's the only thing that makes sense to me is 7th grade needs a 2-year plan. And then in this year, this 7th grade, they will need to learn some American history because it's almost like I need to be the American history teacher. He needs to be the social studies teacher. That's kind of how it has to work, I feel, because I have more time. I can teach American history and throw civics in. So that's my thing, and I need him to understand that. I think he will. Anyway, I've been thinking about that for a while now because I've been trying to figure out how this is going to work, and it finally clicked to me the other day. But today is just gym.